Love you.
All right, so we are back for another episode of Brad and Mira for the Culture. I'm Brad Listi, and I'm here with my friend and co-host, Mira Gonzalez. Hi, Mira.
What up?
Mira, what's happening in popular culture this week?
Well, there are, of course, a lot of things happening in popular culture this week. So many. But we want to start out with our favorite topic, which is the Baldwins.
There will be Baldwins.
Unfortunately, this episode does not have that good of a title. This episode is titled Always Be Cleaning. It's episode 4, and a lot happened in this episode, Brad. We were just discussing before we started recording how we might be sort of the sole podcast that is on the Baldwins beat. I don't know if anybody else in the world is watching this show. I will give you guys Nielsen ratings when my friend texts them to me because I have been asking him for the Baldwin Nielsen rating, so I'll let you guys know. So in this episode, it starts out with Alec still in therapy. And I just want to point out that therapist has a fucked up, crazy hair situation going on. That, like, Jerry curl on the top of his head, sides shaved. What the fuck is that? Who does that?
It is an interesting look.
It's a non-acceptable look. And so, okay, so he's in therapy. And he says some, like, pretty insane things, I would say. Some, like, things that are more intense than any of them really kind of give him credit for. For example, he says, she's like, hilarious, like, Alec, what do you need from me to feel safe? And then starts saying, you're safe, Alec, you're safe. I'm gonna keep telling you that. I won't stop saying that. You're safe. And Alec's like, stop. And she's like, I'm never gonna stop saying that. And then the therapist literally says, like, okay, you're doing a lot right now. Hilarious. And then Alec says, I need less noise and problems. And then she says, okay, but what do you need? And he said, I really need to have a different life. Now,
I don't get it. I don't get why. Like, he keeps talking about how he wants to leave public life,
but he doesn't.
but he's saying it on a fucking reality show.
He's on TLC. Like,
Yeah.
he clearly doesn't. And, like, you can kind of tell. So, like, after this fucking therapy situation, they go to, I guess it's a farm? Or, like, a farm restaurant kind of situation? Is that what it is?
Sure. Yeah. Farm to table.
Yeah, it was like a farm, and they were, like, kind of petting animals, but then there was also, like, people cooking stuff all over the place. And Alec is out here just chatting it up with absolutely everybody. He's chatting it up with the pizza guys, chatting it up with the fucking goat herders, chatting it up with the fucking guy who's, like, roasting, I don't know, pig. Like, he's just, like, being so charming and funny to absolutely everybody.
Do you see that pig there roasting in the fire? I feel like that pig.
Oh, Alec, you're so funny. You're so funny, Alec. What do you need from me? You are safe. You are safe.
Do you know what it's like to be cooked slowly over an open flame, Hilaria?
Oh, yes, I am from Boston. I know very well. Just kidding. I am from España. So he's he like goes directly from being like, I'm in therapy, I need a different life, I want nobody to, like, look at me or talk to me ever, and, like, I want to be totally private. And then he's on this fucking farm where, like, he is going up to every single person who exists on this farm and basically being like, hi, I'm Alec Baldwin. Hey, do you know about me? I'm Alec Baldwin. I'm the actor Alec Baldwin. Hey, look at me, I'm charming, I'm Alec Baldwin. Like, he needs validation so badly. He needs recognition and he needs praise. He needs to walk into any situation and be known as Alec Baldwin.
Well, I mean, he's been an actor his whole life. He's been famous for like 30 years or 40 years. So he doesn't know any other way. And in his defense, like, he's interacting with normies. I think he just wants to maybe be, or at least he tells himself he wants to be able to just kind of go out with his family and not have the paparazzi all over him. And
see, but this is what I realized. Like, maybe he doesn't want, or it's clear that he doesn't want the paparazzi all over him, especially when he's, like, just trying to go out and be normal, or to the grocery store, he's not looking particularly good. Maybe him and Hilaria are, like, grumpy at each other or whatever. But when he's ready to talk to people, he wants to talk to anybody. He doesn't want to hide and just be with his family. he doesn't want to like have like a small life where like people are like not like, you know, recognizing him on the street. He just wants it on his own terms. He
Yeah.
just wants it to be something that's like easy and fun for him, which I think is why he's having so many children. I think it's because he sees into the future. He sees an acting life or a fame life that is kind of declining. And he's like, where can I get that kind of validation all the time because I need it like a drug? Oh, I'll have a million children.
Maybe. I that sleuthing I did, I want to say last week we talked about this farm that he bought in Vermont.
Oh, yeah.
And I looked at the house, and the house isn't big enough.
So why buy a whole farm if the house isn't big enough? Why not just buy a bigger house with a fucking yard?
Well, I mean, this is my theory, but I could be totally wrong. I think they're going to renovate and expand and like build a compound on
Mm.
on that property in Vermont. I think they're going to sell the house in the Hamptons. They're going to sell their apartment in New York City, and they're going to move. Well, but you know what? I cannot imagine them raising their kids in Vermont. I think they're going to raise their kids in New York City, right? Or is Alec wanting to get out of there?
See, that's the thing is I don't know. I think that like Alec, I think that he is somebody who you can tell from the show that he's doing the show and everything about it that he is somebody who desperately needs validation and attention. And so him going somewhere where people see, but then he like shot a woman and so he's like started getting bad validation and like started getting people who don't like him, people who are that's my dog coughing up a hairball. I apologize for baby dog.
Let's just let this happen.
Okay, I think he's done. He shot this woman in the face, right? And so that gave him a lot of attention, a lot of negative attention. And like he's gotten negative attention before, but not to that degree. You know, it's been like, oh, I'm going to yell at this paparazzi. I'm going to, you know, whatever the fuck. But it's never been like, hey, Alec, you're a murderer. Like comments. Like he like cannot handle that. That is a kind of validation that is like the opposite of what he wants.
Like
And
most decent people couldn't handle
yeah,
that.
it's terrible. Most people, I mean, it's terrible that he killed somebody, but like most decent people could not handle that for sure. Uh, and like I think that like maybe he's thinking about moving to Vermont because it's a situation where like if he goes to a restaurant, everybody will know that he's Alec Baldwin and they will like act accordingly. But there's not really going to be like paparazzi on every street corner being like, "So, how about the woman you killed, Alec?" Like, "Hey, like look at your wife. She's not really Spanish." Like he wants but I don't think it's going to be enough for him.
That's the thing. Like I'll have mad respect for Alec and Hilaria if they just pack it up, leave New York, and truly move to Vermont and just live some sort of like farm life. But I kind of
I
think
doubt
like
it.
once they got there, if that's what they actually did, and once they got there and actually started living in the sticks, I wonder and also like cut themselves off from all of their social life, like whatever social life they have, friends, like they don't have friends in Vermont.
Yeah, dude. And like Hilaria does not want to be in Vermont. She wants to be hanging out with her friends. She doesn't want to be hanging out with like old people and Alec all the time. Like you can tell she doesn't like hanging out with Alec all the time. He's old. She wants to like hang out with people who are young and able-bodied and like her friends are all in New York. Like same with Alec. If he wants to have any kind of acting career, he'll be in New York. I feel like Vermont might be somewhere that they go when Alec gets like too overwhelmed with the bad news. Like they need like an escape, which like was their Hamptons house, but I think it's getting too expensive.
Maybe. Yeah, that's what I don't understand. You've got to, I mean, that Hamptons property is gorgeous.
Why like yeah, why sell it? Is it like why they don't need like a bigger property than that? Like they've like got plenty of space in the Hamptons property. The New York property like they need more space even though it's huge, but the Hamptons one they've got plenty of room. I don't know why they want to sell it and then go to Vermont.
Maybe it's
That
cheaper.
almost seems like a pub actually, it almost seems like a publicity thing to go with the narrative that's happening on the Baldwins right now. It almost seems like he's like, oh, I want to get out of like, you know, I want to get out of the paparazzi. I want to get out of like, you know, the fame. Like, I want to move to Vermont. And then he's just not really going to do it
Yeah, I mean, he bought it, like he bought that place
in
in
Vermont.
in Vermont
Oh, wow.
in the aftermath of the shooting, like pretty close after, I think. So
I'll bet that's what it is.
he was probably just like, this is insane. There's like photographers outside my apartment harassing my wife and kids. Like I got to get the fuck out. Like I kind of
which leads us to one of the funniest things I think in this whole entire episode. You and I both noted it when we were watching the episode, which is that there is this moment in it where Hilaria starts talking about the paparazzi and what they've been through with the paparazzi, and like she talks about this specific paparazzi shot of her, and she's wearing, okay, let me see if I can remember from memory. She's wearing like a graphic tee of some kind. I want to maybe like a band shirt or something like that, something really stupid. And then she's wearing kind of like a high-waisted leather skirt. She has like a silver leather jacket over her shoulders, and then she's wearing like high heeled pumps, you know, like stiletto pumps and fishnets, like whole fishnets with a seam down the back and everything. And the paparazzi are, and she's like talking on the phone to her friend, and the paparazzi are shooting her. And she said that the reason that she did that was to take attention away from Alec and the kids who were like getting in a car or something like that. And she was like, okay, I'm going to do this so that everyone looks at me instead of them. And like, and it like got her bad press. They were like, oh, she's like, you know, looking hot outside or whatever. She probably like, you know, just abandoned her kids to put on a different outfit, blah, 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 which is stupid. But I don't know if I buy, like, do you buy the story that she did that just to distract the paparazzi?
I mean, I don't know what to think. I guess so. It seems kind of like a fun, like wily plan to distract the paparazzi so that Alec can exit their apartment without getting photographed and harassed. But
It just like paparazzi are smarter than that. They're gonna like if she goes and puts on an outfit, they're gonna have some paparazzi on her and some on the front of the house.
maybe, but they're also paparazzi are also dudes. And like if Hilaria Baldwin walks out of an apartment in fishnet stockings and pumps and like starts walking down the street, they're probably going to follow her. I mean, it is kind of a brilliant strategy if you want to try to get the cameras off your front door.
I mean, it's kind of like the like Looney Tunes Bugs Bunny strategy of like, okay, Bugs Bunny putting on like a sexy lady outfit and then like putting like one leg out to like distract like Elmer Fudd or whatever the hell.
That's
It's
exactly
like the
right.
exact same thing.
Yeah, that's exactly right. I mean, if it's true, I got to kind of tip my cap. It's kind of brilliant. Like, good for her.
It's kind of brilliant, but like, okay, yes, paparazzis are dudes, but they are also like some of the most like competitive, like money seeking people. It's like they're hustling. So it's not like they're gonna like stop and be like, wow, Hilaria looks hot. They're gonna be like, how do I get the most money? And she's not wrong to do that in that, like, you know, the paparazzi probably did get a good amount of money for those pictures of her. But like they would also get a good amount of money for like Alec being in the house, like getting out of the house with his kids or whatever. Like I would bet if they knew what was going on, like they would have some people stationed like between the two. You could probably get both pictures. So it's not like she wasn't near the house.
Yeah, I don't know how paparazzi works. Like, are they working in teams? It just seems like random dudes with
It's
cameras.
individuals. It's like individuals usually fighting against each other and they have like relationships with certain magazines and stuff like that. So they're all fighting to get the best picks and there's like kind of like a roles that you have respect for each other so that everybody has like the chance to get the good picks. So like I guess it's kind of a good strategy. But then part of me also felt like maybe she was just going outside in an outfit that she thought she looked hot in and then everybody was like, "Wow, she looks fucking stupid in that outfit." Like that's crazy. Cuz like people do, you know, put on clothes with certain brands and then call the paparazzi to take a picture of them. And that would be enough to sort of distract from the story, like without it being like distracting from him, you know, getting in the car in that moment. And then she was maybe made fun of for the outfit and was like, see, I was doing like a Looney Tunes, like, oh, like, gotcha kind of thing. I feel like she should just own it and be like, I look hot.
I mean, she did look good.
She looked great.
Yeah, she's hot. But like, I tend to take her at face value. I think she's telling the truth. I think that's what she did. She was like, how do I get him out of here? He's stressed out. I'm just going to put on this crazy outfit and I'm going to run interference and he's going to sneak out the door.
But then I also feel like Hilaria is kind of an agent of chaos who is like spending all of her time trying to make Alex's life hell. And then I wonder if like she was just doing that to like fuck with him a little bit. Just like put on that outfit and be like, oh, now we have more bad press. Like, haha. Like she's like putting these cats everywhere. She's like accusing him of having OCD when he's cleaning in a normal way. Like she's like he's organizing the shoes in the house and she's like going behind him and actively fucking up the shoes as he's organizing them. She lives to make his life hellish. She like wants him dead.
She likes to fuck with him. His
Mm-hmm.
the whole cleaning thing, because Alec will organize the shoes. They've got 7 kids. There's like 100 pairs of shoes on the floor in this mud room,
So
and all
reasonable to organize them.
100% reasonable. And yet she thinks it's like some sort of disease that he wants to have this room organized.
There was a moment where specifically Alex said, I wrote it down. He said, "My OCD is not a problem for me. It's a problem for the people around me." That's not OCD. That's not how OCD works. OCD isn't just a problem for the people around you. That's like, it is a problem for the people around you. OCD is primarily a problem for the person with OCD. And like, you could be in denial about it, sure. But the truth is, like, he just sounds like my mom. He sounds like my mom when I was younger and the shoes were a mess and she was like, "Oh, the shoes are a mess." Like, what? Like, getting pissy about it. That's all he sounds like. He sounds
Yeah.
like maybe even a little more gentle than my mom, frankly.
Yeah. She's just messing with him constantly about that. But he also there was also that scene where he's talking about his house. Like it's the Alec Baldwin solo interview, where he's sitting on the couch on
Right.
camera.
Which we haven't really gotten that much of like a solo intense Alec interview until this episode.
Yeah, and he's like, this house, it needs to be updated. These couches are 5 years old. It looks like hell. I'm like,
5 years old.
yeah, he's like so out of touch with like how, I mean, what they have to update and refurbish and refurnish their house every 5 years.
But like that's just rich people shit. That's just like what they do. They just get bored after a certain amount of time. They don't have projects or whatever. They're like, well, I like not gonna buy a new house, but I'm gonna make this house as new as possible.
Yeah, just like I'm just tired of this couch. It's a perfectly fine couch, but I'm going to ship it out and get something new.
But also I wonder, like, is that Hilaria in his ear being like, oh, this couch is perfectly fine. But in reality, the couch is like covered in fucking crayon and stains and all kinds of shit from the kids. And like 5 years is how long a couch lasts in that house.
And cat hair. It's
And
like
cat hair, and he's dying from it. He has
he's
an EpiPen every morning. He's having to inject himself in the heart with fucking whatever, like they did in Pulp Fiction.
yeah, I don't know. I want to talk too about the way that Alec Baldwin walks, because I think
Insane.
he walks like he's got like a back issue, but they haven't talked about it. Like it looks like he has a slip disc or something.
Yeah, he walks like how like I have chronic back issues despite not being old enough for that, but like I've thrown out my back twice to the point of fainting. 3 times to the point of literally blacking out because the pain was so bad when I threw it out. And like I've got a high pain tolerance. That is how I walk when I throw my back out that badly. Exactly like that. He's got like a wide leg stance. He's going really slow. He's not really bending his knees, or he's like bending his knees but kind of keeping them in that position. Kind of walking like an NPC in Grand Theft Auto. I feel like
what's an NPC? I don't
oh,
even know what that is.
oh, we have a impromptu Brad Learns. Let's get the theme song. Here we go. Brad Learns.
Brad's in the world, what's trending now? Got his iPhone, but don't know how. Scrolling for me, lost in hate. Years of wisdom for light up the stage. Chatting with friends.
Okay, so Brad, when you play a video game, right?
Yeah.
Let's use Super Mario as an example. You play a Super Mario, you control Super Mario. But then, sometimes you're going through Super Mario World and you run into Toad. And Toad's going to sell you some potions. Toad is an NPC, which stands for non-player character. It's a character in a video game that you don't play and that you just run into and talk to. That's the computer. And so if somebody says they're an NPC, it means that they're shallow and they kind of don't really have anything going for them. Like they're just kind of a nothing person. Brad Learns.
Brad Learns. Look
So
at
he
that.
walks like an NPC. He walks like a cheap video game NPC, who's like walking all fucked up because they don't have like the amount of graphics to make their like joints move properly. It's fucked.
Yeah, but he doesn't talk about it. And I'm
At all.
thinking, if you think back to like old movie roles or whatever, he doesn't walk like that.
No, not at all. He's like, even as an old man, I haven't really seen him walk like that. Like that seems relatively new. And now that I think about it, I haven't really seen him walk much at all in the show until this episode. He's kind of been seated or standing, not really like in motion.
Well, and there's the, there's the part where he's like, I mean, this is really a show that's working so hard to kind of rehab
It's a
their,
commercial for the Baldwins.
and he's talking about like, I don't need it. I don't need fame. I just want to like spend time with my family. This is what I'm doing with
Yeah,
my
talking about
life.
quitting acting, like, oh, I'm so sure, Alec. Like, you're gonna get a role, and like, you're gonna do it, and you're gonna be like, okay, fine. Like, I'll come back to acting for this because it's such an important role.
I was like ready for that. Like, what's that John Lennon song? Like watching the wheels go round and round,
I just
where
thought of imagine all the people.
no, there's a song from his like 70s New York days where he was like getting into fatherhood and domesticity, where he wrote that song called Watching the Wheels Go Round and Round.
By that time, didn't he have like a 15-year-old son? He's like, oh, now I'm gonna get into domesticity.
Well, he had Julian was his eldest son, who he didn't necessarily do a
Right.
great job of spending time with, but then he had Sean, and I think he was trying to like right his wrongs. And so it was this song about how like he's just given up the fast life and the fame and the rock and roll so that he can just like watch the wheels turn. And
That's Alec.
that's Alec Baldwin.
It's
He's
like, I'm a
the
family man now. Like, I'm a lovable family man who just like doesn't like the paparazzi, but doesn't yell at them. I'm chatting up farm workers, like I'm just a gregarious dad type who like walks like I fucking like don't have joints in my knees. I don't know what somebody looks like when they need a hip replacement, but Alec needs a hip replacement.
yeah, that or knees. I don't know. Maybe we'll get that in a future episode. I'm just flagging it. I think we might hear about Alec. I feel like
That's your
Hilarious.
prediction for like upcoming.
But what Hilaria will do is she'll be like, Alec, your core strength is just it's not there. You need to get your core strength in order to fix your back. She'll figure out how to treat it, and she'll kind of like use it as a way to like
She'll
nudge
use it
him.
against him to
Yeah,
bother
yeah.
him again because it is like her life's mission to make his life hell. And like yeah, like I feel like she's gonna be like, Alec, like you're walking crazy again, and he's gonna be like, well, I can't do anything else, Hilaria. Just like your core strength, Alec, your core strength. Also, I guess that would kind of like if he's like talking about like I'm gonna like leave the spotlight, I'm gonna quit acting, and the truth is that he has some kind of injury that makes him look like an old guy, and he doesn't want people to see it. I mean, that might not be the worst method.
I just hope it's sincere. Like if it's sincere, if they
Not
truly,
sincere. None of
I
this
mean,
is sincere.
but if they did, like do this season just to sort of like have their own say about who they are, and then they peace out and we never hear from them again, it would be
It would be
genius.
amazing. Like it'd be incredible. And then I think like our podcast would be a great historical record, which is probably why we're doing this at all. So
Centuries from now, people
yeah,
will listen to this to find out what happened.
whatever happened to him, he'll be like, what? Who's the fucking lady who invented planes and then disappeared? That's how they'll talk about Alec Baldwin. Where did he go?
Amelia Earhart.
Yeah, Amelia Earhart. It's like, where did Amelia Earhart disappear to? That'll be Alec Baldwin next.
His body was found in the woods near his farm in Vermont.
It's like the Malaysia flight. Like it's missing forever, never found again.
He was surrounded by cats.
He was discovered surrounded by cats. No one knows how the cats got there. Hilaria, she was in the other room making a mess.
Yeah, she's making banana bread with her 7 children.
Making banana bread. For some reason, creaming the butter by hand with a wooden spoon, getting fucking shit everywhere. So my favorite part of this entire episode was a part where she's talking about her daughter's friend that she has over. Her daughter's friend's like English or something like that. And she's like, oh, like my daughter's friend. Her daughter's like 10, 9, 10, something like that. Maybe 11.
Her eldest is, I think, 11, but I could
11.
be wrong.
So she's 11. And she's like, my daughter's friend, she always has the best nails. And I said to her, who does your nails? And she said, my 15-year-old sister does. And so Hilaria has this 15-year-old come over to her house to do her nails. And you're like, what the fuck? Like, all right, I guess that's fine. Which, by the way, as somebody who is very dedicated to my own nails, I'm showing them to the screen, but none of you can see it because there's no YouTube video, sadly. What that 15-year-old nail tech was doing, not a huge deal. I do the same thing. Technically illegal. She's an unlicensed nail tech using gel nails on somebody else. She's not even supposed to be able to buy gel polish at all without a license. Everybody does.
Why?
Because it's like kind of toxic. You have to make sure that you cure it under a blue light for enough time. Otherwise, if it's kind of wet on your nail, it can like cause like serious irritation on your skin. Like you could like burn your hand in the blue light if you don't know how it works if you leave it in there for a million years. This kid clearly, like, you can go on YouTube and you can learn all these things, and it's like very easy. I've done it. Lots of people have done it. It's not hard, and you can buy all of the things also. And so like she was clearly doing it right. I could tell she like knew what she was doing and she was good at it. I used to have a 16-year-old nail tech who was amazing. But technically not legal. Technically child labor, technically unlicensed nail tech. But that's beyond the point. So she brought this girl here and you're like, what is going on? Like, why is she here? Turns out this girl was born in England, lived there for some amount of time, and then came to the United States. And so she's in that kind of weird age where she still has a little bit of an accent. It hasn't totally gone yet, but she has also adopted like half an American accent. And so Hilaria is talking to her about code switching as if to be like, oh yeah, me too. Like that also happened to me, you know, with Spain and America, and I have to code switch and I don't know. Literally saying the quote, I had to learn what code switching was because the whole world was mean to me. It is just, and like, you know, the girl's talking about it like, oh, well, if I'm with my American friends, I don't want to sound so British, blah, blah, blah. Like that makes sense. And Hilarious like, oh yeah, me too. Oh yeah, me too. Like, bitch, you summered in Spain and that is it. Like doing everything she can in a situation where her husband killed someone. He's really the one who needs the good press. And she's like, by the way, let's talk about how my accent, I wasn't faking it. Like, come on, you guys.
Like, I gotta ask, do we know, like, what is the history of Hilaria Baldwin's connection to Spain? She just vacationed there as a child?
She
Like, do we?
summered there. So I think she spent, you know, like 2 months out of the year or whatever there with her family. I think her family maybe had a house there. But that, and she like learned Spanish. She's clearly fluent in Spanish. But that's it.
During an appearance on Good Morning America in 2012, the same year she married Alec Baldwin, Hilaria spoke of the joys of being a newlywed in an accent that matched her statement that she was from Spain.
She's not from Spain. Actively not from Spain. Like, she's just like, is she Jewish? Is that why she's like a little bit less white looking than like an Irish person? Like, and like, sorry, Spanish people are white. So like, she is like confused as hell. Like, she summered in Spain and she's like, therefore I am from Spain.
Wait, more damning comments regarding Hilaria's ethnicity emerged, including tweets from people alleging to be her former high school classmates in Boston. They disputed her statement on Twitter. Wait.
They were like, we went to class with her in Boston.
Yeah, they disputed her statement made on her podcast in 2019 that she didn't move to the United States until college. Also, Hilaria's birthplace was listed as Mallorca on her former talent agency's website.
But it was a lie.
That's what I mean. Like that,
she literally did it to seem more
exotic.
Yeah, for like acting reasons.
And like yoga influencer reasons.
Yeah, she didn't want to just be a normal white person.
So just like admit it. Like that's the thing. Like just cop to it. Don't act like a victim. Just be like, you know what? I was culturally and racially or whatever insensitive, and this was stupid, and I feel bad.
I pulled a Rachel Dolezal, but for Spain, and I'm sorry. It's yeah, to double down on it, it's really fucking insane. And like she's doing it like once every episode. She won't fucking shut up about it. Every episode it's like Alec has OCD and like my accent isn't racist, and the end. So okay, so the very end of the episode, just to wrap it up, features Alec washing Hilaria's car.
Her white like new model her white new model Range Rover.
That's a very expensive car, I assume.
Yeah, that's probably like a I would guess like $75,000 to $100,000 car.
Jesus Christ almighty. So she has this car. There is like a tiny, not that tiny. There's like a, 4-inch little scratch on the car. And Alec responds like, a little bit heightened, I would say, being like, what is that? What did you do? Is that a scratch? How did you fuck up your car already? It's brand new. And Hilaria's like standing there in like her like denim shorts, her little outfit, being like, I don't know, Alec, haha. Like, just like being such a bitch about it, being so like, I guess I got my car dirty, like as if she did it on purpose to bother him. And then he's looking at the car, and this fucking, I was laughing so hard that Tyler in the other room was like, "Are you okay? Like, what is going on?" Because at one point, Alec is washing the car. He's got like whatever fucking towels washing the car. He's all soapy, and he looks at the car, looks closer, and he goes, "Is that, what is that? Is that cheese? That's cheese. There's cheese on the car. I'm not kidding you guys."
There's a wheel of brie on the hood of our fucking Range Rover, Hilaria.
And like Hilaria like doesn't even laugh, just kind of looks at him, and like that's where the episode ends. Basically, is him being like, "There's fucking cheese on the Range Rover."
I feel like they spent like 10 minutes with like Hilaria and these like these short shorts,
Like short shorts.
yeah, and like this like tank top or whatever, and she's like soaping the car. It's kind of like gratuitous in a.
But like she's like more just watching Alex soap the car. Like she's in an outfit like it's gonna be like, she's working at the car wash, but then she's just watching Alec do it and being like, "Haha, I got cheese on my new Range Rover."
She should feel lucky that she's got a husband who likes cleanliness. Like what would happen if he didn't?
She would live in squalor. She's one of
Yeah.
these, like, I feel like there's something a lot of people don't know about extremely hot women, which is that like I've got a lot of friends who are like who have like hot people privilege. I've got hot friends, and like 95% of them are absolute slubs. They've gotten through their life being gorgeous, gorgeous women, and their houses are a nightmare. I don't know why this is. I don't know why it's like always just beautiful women, but I don't know. They're always hot slobs.
Hot slobs. They don't. Yeah, they don't. I guess like you don't realize they have these blind spots. Like the world is like nice to them.
Right.
People pick up after them. People like give them free shit. Like let them have their like place in line at the grocery
Right.
store. Like there's all that stuff that just happens. They don't.
Exactly.
It's just normal.
Is that a bird outside? I've got some really crazy birds in my new house. I want to befriend some crows.
Mira lives in nature now, so she's got
Yeah.
access to the wild.
And I famously do not like nature, so that's going to be something for me to get used to.
I can't wait to come out and see it. Your cute little house. I'm going to come visit you.
Yeah, because River doesn't listen to this podcast, right?
No.
So Brad's son really loves IKEA, and I crocheted him. I'm making him a little employee too, because that seems like a more reasonable thing. But specifically, his son requested an IKEA building, so I have crocheted him an IKEA building. That's what I've been working on this week. Besides, the Baldwins, of course.
That's right. I've got Mira working overtime.
That's right. He's got me working overtime for, below minimum wage. So if anybody wants to call like OSHA or whatever it is on Brad, the podcasting union.
We do need to unionize as podcasters, I feel like.
That's so true. Yeah. Is there a podcasters union?
There should be. We need to protect ourselves.
Yeah, we need fucking labor rights here. And I am unionizing against Brad, just in case anybody is curious. So it is just me versus Brad.
So what else is going on out there in the world of popular culture?
So let's see. Here is a story. Another story with these fucking people. So this is a story about Kanye West and fucking Kim Kardashian and their child. Again, Kanye West, famous Nazi, Kim Kardashian, famous something person. I don't even know. So Kanye just released a new song that apparently features Diddy, famous sex assaulter. And it also features Diddy's son. I didn't even know he had a son. That's frightening. And it also
Diddy's got like, doesn't he have like tons of kids? I feel like he has a lot of kids.
He seems like somebody who would have a lot of kids for some reason. Like,
seems like the kind of guy who would have 14 children.
I just get a vibe that he has a lot of children around him. So okay, so Kanye West, Nazi, did a song featuring Diddy. He's basically out here defending Diddy, and Diddy's out here defending Kanye too. They're buddies. And the song featured their daughter, Northwest, which is fucking insane.
Wait, she's like performing in it?
Yeah, she's like singing in it. So, I mean, I think he took her off the song at this point. I'm not really sure what the update is exactly. So in the song, it's called Lonely Roads. It kicks off with a voice that certainly sounds like Diddy's. People are saying it probably is Diddy's. And I think Diddy confirmed, telling Ye that he appreciates him taking care of his kids and reaching out because no one else has in recent months. And then Kanye responds by saying Diddy raised him even when the two didn't know each other, and the voice on the under end of the call says that he's feeling a lot of love. And then his daughter raps, "When you see me shining, then you see the light," and then some other lines. So this led to a text exchange being posted by Kanye, um, saying basically not Kim is not saying I want my daughter away from Diddy and I do not want her on a song with his voice on it. Rather, the drama is about the fact that when Kanye made this song, he copyrighted Northwest's name. So like he himself would own the copyright to Northwest's name. So I'll read the screen grab that Kanye posted. So like, well, I'll read it and then we can discuss it. So Kim sends a screenshot of the legal document saying that Kanye copyrighted Northwest's name and then just said, "I'm never speaking with you again." And that's it. Okay. Kanye responds.
She's never speaking with Kanye again, her ex-husband?
Yeah, so she's texting Kanye right now.
Because he copyrighted their daughter's name.
Right, exactly. And, he owns the copyright and not Kim. And then Kanye responds and says, "I asked you at the time if I can trademark her name. You said yes. When she's 18, it goes to her, so stop. I sent paperwork over so she wouldn't be put in the Diddy song to protect her. One person has to trademark. We agreed that when they were born, I would get all of our kids' trademarks so no one else would take them." Okay. Which seems like kind of a shockingly reasonable response from Kanye. I'm not really used to him doing that. Okay, and then Kim says, "Amend it or I'm going to war, and neither of us will recover from the public fallout. You're gonna have to kill me." So she's really not fucking around. Now, it's worth noting that whoever owns the trademark, like Kanye said, when Northwest is 18, it goes to her. I think Northwest is like 14 now, maybe 15. So like it's going to go to her in a couple of years. And I think it's also worth noting that like Kanye recently tweeted, "I'm a Nazi," and went outside wearing a swastika shirt, and we have not seen anything for their entire divorce that was near as intense as what Kim texted him here about this copyright. I've watched the new Kardashian show and the old one, and like she's always making an extra effort to not have a conflict with Kanye. But as soon as this copyright thing happened, she's saying, "I'm going to go to war. You're going to have to kill me. We'll never recover from the public fallout." She's mad as fuck. Why this, of all things?
Because it's like a business issue, and it's like him doing something that she perceives as exploitative and negative towards one of their kids, right?
I think, yes, basically, but I think that it's less than it being an issue of doing something exploitative to one of their kids. I think it's an issue of business. I think that primarily Kim takes after her mother. And that means that Kim has never, ever missed a paycheck in her fucking life. She wants cash. She says it herself. She wants to keep on going until she's like a fucking billionaire. Like she is a businesswoman. And
Right.
she's a good one. She's a really good one.
Yeah. So
And
she's like, don't fucking try to profit off my kid, off our kid. And like,
well, don't you try to profit off of our kid, because I am the one who's going to profit off of our kid, because Kim is Northwest's manager. So Kim gets a percentage of anything that Northwest does. She is functioning as a momager to her kid the exact same way that Chris was to her. And so she won't tell the public what percentage she gets of Northwest's money, but we can assume it's probably the same as what Chris got for her, which was, I think, 10%. And Kim is like, "Okay, well, I'm managing the business, which is their child, and yet you're going out here and owning the copyright. That's not fair. Business-wise, capitalism-wise, money-wise, that's not fucking fair to me, because I'm the one who's doing the work."
I get that he's the father of their children or whatever, and you want to keep your kids in touch with their father. But the guy's like an avowed Nazi, and he's flagrantly mentally ill. Like those kids should be nowhere near the guy,
Yes.
unless it's like supervised visit.
Yes. And like Kim being like, neither of us will recover from the public fallout, like shit like that. Like, why isn't she out here? Like, okay, when I saw this, I did a little bit of digging and I watched a video that Bethany Frankel posted about her divorce, which was similar. Not, he wasn't a Nazi, but it was similarly contentious. And Bethany said, the business aspect of it is not what's important. The public aspect is not what's important. What's important is decision making. It's not even custody necessarily, it's decision making. Like when that kid has a medical issue, who's going to be deciding what's going on? When that kid is being abused by their father, who's going to be able to take them out of the house and then have a judge say that's not abandonment, that's actually you making the best decision for your child, and therefore you are the decision maker. Right? That's something that if you're the decision maker for your child and the judge deems that you were in an unsafe situation, it's not abandonment to take the kid out of the house or away from their father during custody. Why isn't Kim fighting this hard for that? She doesn't have that. She doesn't have this 50-50 decision-making power, and Kanye is literally insane, literally genocidal. And so why isn't she fighting that hard to get decision-making power? Why isn't she saying neither of us will recover from the public fallout if you don't let me have decision-making power over our kids because fuck you, you're a Nazi? Instead, she's saying, how dare you own the copyright for the next 3 years?
Yeah, I mean, maybe she sees a side of him that we don't see, but I'm just like,
Oh, she does, I'm sure. But like, he's posting the worst of like anything she texts him that he gets upset about, he's posting, and she knows it. So she knows he's going to post this.
So maybe it's, yeah, maybe they're in cahoots. Maybe it's like like their own little reality show. But
I mean, not even in cahoots. She's just like got to the point. Maybe, but like she's got to the point, I think, where she just doesn't care about the publicity of it. And she's like, I need to own this copyright. This goes beyond like, me looking like I'm the nice one in public. And the fact that this, after all these years, is what finally got her there is wild to me.
yeah, I don't get it at all. And I mean, I just think the whole Kanye project, the fact that he's a person in our culture who keeps getting press and keeps being able to make art and like be a
Mm-hmm.
famous, like it's just, he's just in, he seems, when I look at him, I look at a person who seems like he's going insane.
Yeah, I mean, he's insane. And he's, like I've said before, he's been a Nazi since maybe before he went insane, or he's always been insane and a Nazi. But I think that, like, being insane and being a Nazi aren't a causal connection. It's more of a, he went insane and then was okay with telling everyone he's a Nazi. And like, so it's like either way, like one, he's mentally unstable, and two, even if he's not mentally unstable, he's genocidal and dangerous. So keep your kids away from him and keep him out of the public eye. Why is he invited to the Grammys? Why is he
I don't think he
nominated
was.
for a
I think he
Grammy?
didn't he just show up at the Grammys? I think
Well,
that he
that's what
was.
they said, but he was literally nominated for a Grammy. And as far as I know, if you are nominated for a Grammy, you are invited to the Grammys.
What was he nominated for?
I don't even remember. It was like some smaller category. It was like best rap duo performance or something like that. Like,
And the Grammy for best anti-Semitic rap album.
the Grammy for most anti-Semitic tweets posted in a 1 hour period.
Just
And like,
he just needs to be like, he needs medical care. That's what he needs.
he needs to be on his medication, absolutely. And he also needs like fucking, I don't know, some kind of like anti-Nazi re-education camp. Like he needs some kind of like fucking inpatient like anti-Nazifying program. Like he needs like a lot of shit before he needs to like become somebody who rehabs other Nazis before like I'd ever even be close to being okay with him being in the public eye.
Yeah,
Ever.
just go away. Just
Just
go
go
away.
away.
Same with Kim Kardashian. I don't want to, I've never even watched a Kardashian show. I've never seen a minute of it in my life.
She's
Why do people care about these people?
well, it's I mean, they're truly disgusting people, and I would love to never ever see them again, to be totally clear. I hate their guts. I think that they are bad people. I think that the family is bad in a million ways. I think that like I have a lot of really, really negative feelings about the Kardashians, just to make that totally clear, including their dead dad. That guy can get fucked. I hope someone pisses on his grave. So,
Wait, why? Why?
because he defended OJ Simpson and hid like a murder weapon so that he got off.
Yeah, I just feel like our cult. This is what I mean. The wheels have just come. I mean, I guess they came off a long time ago, but it's
Yeah,
just
dude,
so
Kardashians aired in like 2005.
it's so emblematic of just how broken things are that this is like this is it.
It's the
This is
show. I think a lot of people watch it because it's like oh, like I want to be like that. Like, look at their cool houses. And then other people watch it to be like, wow, look at how fucking alien and freakish. And sometimes it's both, but like alien and freakish and unempathetic and bizarre this family is. And the way that they interact with each other and with other people. It's just like so horrifying, so capitalistic and gross. And like the mom will openly be like saying which one of the kids is her favorite at any given time, and it's always the kid who is making the most money. Like, it's just disgusting. These people are disgusting people.
and it's been happening. This show has been running. The Kardashians have been a reality show since 2005.
Maybe it's not 2005, but like for a really long time. Like, let's see, Keeping Up with the Kardashians. It first aired in 2007.
So that means it's been on the air for 17 years. What if
Well,
17
it's
years?
not on the air anymore. They now replaced it with a show that's just called The Kardashians, which they all have executive producer credits on, and therefore it's not as good.
Well, but still, it's the same thing. Like they're
Yeah,
they're
they've
still a
been all
reality
a
show.
reality television show since 2007.
What if 17 years from now we're still doing this podcast and the Baldwins is still running?
Alec is like Alec is in a coma. She's just like wheeling him around with sunglasses on and Weekend at Bernie style.
Yeah. Alex just like he's like what he would be like in his mid to late 80s at that point. What's the Kardashians? What's the mom called? What's her name?
Kris Jenner.
Is it Kris Jenner? That's her name.
Yeah.
I'm coming for you, Kris. My family is going to overtake you.
I'm coming for you. Oh my god, the Baldwins and the Kardashians like starting a fight. Like it is crazy how hard the Baldwins would lose. Like the devil works hard and Kris Jenner works 20 times harder. Like like that is the scariest woman maybe on the planet.
I'm going to make a prediction right now that one of the Baldwin spawn is going to marry one of Kim and Kanye's kids. It feels like it's written in the stars.
Well, the thing is, I would say, yeah, Haley Baldwin, of course, but they don't have any like boys for her to. I mean, they do have the one boy that they hide from the public eye, and nobody ever gets to see him. But he's not very attractive and not going to marry Haley Baldwin,
Wait, who's not very attractive?
the boy Kardashian sibling.
You mean like Kanye and Kim's
Not
son?
no, not Kanye and Kim's. Kris Jenner and Rob Kardashian. He's Kim's brother.
Oh, she has a brother.
Yeah, she has a secret brother whose name is Rob, after the father. And they don't ever show him on camera or anywhere because he's like just not that good looking and not that charismatic. And so they kind of pretend that he doesn't exist. Like you know that episode of The Simpsons where evil Bart is hidden in the attic? It's like that.
Does he want to be on the show and they won't let him, or is he like, no, I'm not doing this?
I think he's like not into it. I think that like maybe when he was younger, like in like season 1 of Keeping Up with the Kardashians, he was in the show because he was like young and cute. But then everybody like fucking hated his ass because he was not portrayed well in the show and doesn't seem like a very nice person. And then he was like, okay, fuck this. Like, I don't want this anymore.
Jesus. I can't even like just the fact like the decision that you make to like open your life up like this and to just live in this kind of crass reality show
Well, and
world.
like it is like it goes so fucking deep because like I could do a whole podcast about this, honestly. But like Paris Hilton had a sex tape. She was like basically fucking kicked out of like everybody made fun of her. She was just humiliated over and over again. Then after that already happened, Kim Kardashian decides, oh, I'm going to record a sex tape. It's going to mysteriously leak to the public, and then we're going to get a reality show from it. To me, that says that Kris Jenner looked at the situation with Paris Hilton, said, Kim, you're going to do that. But this time, instead of our family shaming you, we're going to embrace it. And we're going to say all publicity is good publicity, and we're going to make $1 billion off it. And she fucking did. That's how like low down and dirty it is. And I'm not shaming of people taping themselves having sex, releasing it on purpose, like go for it. But that is like very exploitative to her friend Paris, who did not speak to her after that.
Wait, Paris Hilton doesn't speak to Kim Kardashian?
They do now, as of like a couple of years ago. But like back in 2005 when this happened, nope, they stopped speaking. They were best friends, stopped speaking.
Because Kim wanted the empire. Paris was like for
Kim
a
got the
time.
empire.
Paris was like more famous than Kim, right?
Right. And then it
What?
was like she did the sex tape and was like going through the worst time of her life and everyone was calling her a whore and God help us all. And then Kim did a sex tape on purpose, basically. Or did a sex tape on purpose, yes. It got released mysteriously, leaked, which like everyone says was Kris Jenner actually who leaked the tape.
Wait,
And
they
then
do? That people believe that
yeah,
Chris like
I
so
believe Kris Jenner leaked it.
Kim Kardashian's mom viewed a sex tape of her own daughter and
Correct.
then see this seems like a damning sign for our
Yes.
species.
And this was like fucking 20 years ago. And like
She was ahead of her
literally
she was ahead of her
she was
time.
ahead of her time. And
She's
like in
a visionary.
in episode 1 of Keeping Up with the Kardashians, one of her sisters, like Courtney or something, says like, Kim, why did you record yourself having sex? And Kim goes, because I was horny and I felt like it. And like I think that was the moment where Paris Hilton said, all right, I'm not speaking to you ever again, fuck you, bitch. Because like Paris Hilton was shamed out of existence for it and her whole family was like, you're a whore, fuck you. And then Kim is just going on TV and her family is like laughing and she's like, I was horny and I felt like it, haha.
When is the Alec Baldwin sex tape gonna leak? I feel like that's coming.
You know, I don't know, but when it does, like, I think that, like, Alec might be tried at The Hague. It seems like a Geneva Conventions kind of thing, a mass torture event. Like, that seems like, it's, like, gonna be, like, another Gitmo making everybody watch the Alec Baldwin sex tape. The CIA is gonna use it in their, like, CIA black spots.
Don't shame him.
Don't shame him. He's beautiful.
I was
He has a
horny
beautiful
and
body.
I just felt like expressing myself.
God, imagining Alec and Hilaria in any kind of sexual situation is one of the most horrifying things I can think of. Like, Jesus fucking Christ. Like, does she, like, cover him with a blanket with a hole cut in it?
I don't know what I don't want to think about that.
They have so many fucking kids. Like, Jesus.
Yeah.
Holy fucking shit. Well,
Well, I just hope that Kim Kardashian, like for the sake of those children, like get yourself distance from Kanye West.
the thing about that family is that they are incredibly patriarchal. They all have relationships with their baby daddies, like close relationships, and Kris like enforces it very intensely. Like they like Chloe like lives with her baby daddy who cheated on her with her like very close friend in public. And like they have separate rooms. They don't like hook up or anything like that, but they just have to be like best friends in the same house.
Jesus.
Yeah, truly insane.
I don't see, like, here's the thing. Where does it end? Like, what are we heading towards with Kanye West? Like, what is it? Like, he's gonna, like, honestly, I feel like he's gonna, like, perform like a Nazi rally concert.
Oh, did
Like,
you see the Nazi rally concert that he performed?
oh, he did already?
He did a fucking show or like a album recording listening party or something where he had a giant red swastika like projected behind the stage. Like it was all dark and then a big red swastika projected behind the stage.
I think what's gonna happen is he's gonna be doing that, and he's gonna be, like, in Washington, D.C., like, in front of the Washington Monument or, like, on the South Lawn of the White House. That's where
Yeah.
we're headed.
Yeah, probably. I mean, like if you think about a couple of months ago, if somebody or like a couple of months before the swastika incident, we would be talking about this and we'd be like, where is this going next? Like he's gonna like go outside in a swastika shirt and say I'm a Nazi. Like that's where this is like haha. But that's literally where it went. So like yeah, whatever the worst possible thing you can think of is, that's where it's going.
Yeah, that's the thing is I'm trying to, like, search, like, the darkness of, like, my imagination to, like, figure out where this is headed. It's so twisted.
There's gonna be like he's gonna do another school, I think. Like he's like I think still probably trying to create a cult compound in Wisconsin or whatever the fuck, Wyoming. And I think that like, you know, he started that Yeezus school or whatever it was called. Where like they weren't allowed to have windows and everybody had to wear, you know, black all the time and like it was just no one learned shit. I think he's gonna do that but make it more Nazi themed.
Who's sending their kids to Kanye's school?
Yeah, good fucking question. I mean,
My
like
God.
But like, who's joining a cult and like letting their kids, go to their special cult school? Like, it's people who join cults. That's and like rich people do that too.
We gotta like can we I don't know if we can put the genie back in the bottle. Like, how can we fix this society, Mira? Like, what's gonna happen? Like, things that can't be this fucking chaotic in the public sphere.
This is maybe the difference between like your generation and like my generation and the generation below it. You're like, what do we do? How do we fix this? And I'm like, you think we can fix this? Like, that's funny. Like, haha. Oh, you think the toothpaste can just go back in the tube? No,
That's
sir.
that's what I was gonna say. The
No,
toothpaste
sir.
bags.
The toothpaste is out. It's all over the sink. It's all over the mirror. And like, all we can do is like try to rub it on the floor also, I guess. Like, I don't know. Use a little on our teeth.
I'm just cleaning the toothpaste off of the fucking mirror. There's toothpaste all over this goddamn bathroom, Hilaria.
Oh my god, that like Hilaria has like walked in on Alec. Like, when like a mirror will get like flecks of toothpaste on it, like sometimes.
Of
She's
course,
probably
yeah.
seen him cleaning that and been like, Alec, you have a fucking problem and you need to go to therapy. Like right the fuck now.
I mean, let the man clean, for God's sake.
I mean, Jesus, he's only got like fucking 15 kids or whatever. Like, my god. So, well, I guess that brings us to Alec Baldwin's co-star on 30 Rock, Tracy Morgan.
Tracy.
I would say that they were probably the two funniest people on 30 Rock.
Yeah.
Tracy and Alec. Like, those two really made the show. Like, really made the show. So, sorry. This photo it's so fucking funny. So Tracy Morgan was at Madison Square Garden. I guess it was yesterday night or Monday night. He was courtside in Madison Square Garden during a Knicks versus Heat game. And suddenly, out of nowhere, and I mean this when I say projectile, vomits all over the court. Like, he's courtside, projectile vomits all over the court. You can see the fucking people playing basketball looking over like, do we stop? Like, oh fuck, like what do we do? I mean, is he the first person to ever projectile vomit all over a basketball court, courtside? Like, has anyone ever done that?
I doubt it. I'm sure somebody has.
But like a famous person? Like, it was like it was coming out of his mouth with such force. It was just like fucking Niagara Falls coming out of his mouth of projectile vomit.
So
I feel
fucking
like I need to like
gross.
scroll away from this photo because it's so fucking funny.
This is another sign, though. I feel like celebrities didn't used to puke in public.
I feel like they did, but people just didn't get photos of it as much.
I just vomited at Madison Square Garden. I vomited, Mira. Why was I eating sushi at a basketball game?
The idea of him sitting there and eating sushi before projectile vomiting is...
I don't know if he was eating sushi. I'm just imagining. What would make somebody... where would you get
so
food
like, what if he was
poisoning?
just there, just like eating sashimi with his hands and then just... bleh?
I eat raw fish. I like to watch basketball and eat raw fish, Mira.
Oh my god, so like, I mean, I'm okay with laughing at this because it was food poisoning. He's totally fine. That's all it was. Nothing like actually medically is wrong with it. If you're listening to this, I do recommend just looking up the photo. Like, the video is a lot, but just the photo of him vomiting all over the... it's like, it's so funny. I'm like, I can't even handle it. The game had to be delayed for several minutes after the vomit episode while he was tended to, and it was cleaned up. And then he was pushed off the court in a wheelchair.
I mean, food poisoning can be intense. Like, it can overtake you.
I recently went to the hospital for food poisoning. It was really bad. Like, I was puking up water. I needed an IV. I was like so fucking fucked up that I was like, thank you so much to all the nurses. Like, you're saving my life.
What did you eat that caused it?
What did I eat that caused it? It was like, like, I don't even honestly remember. I feel like it was like maybe like some kind of stomach flu kind of thing, because normally when I get food poisoning, I'm like, this gave me food poisoning and I know it. But this, like, I didn't know what had done it. And it was like a couple of days of throwing up. So like I feel like maybe it was just some kind of really bad stomach bug or something. But once I think what happened is that I was like, not to be disgusting, I was like throwing up water. And so I got really, really dehydrated. And then I think for like a day, that's what was fucking me up, was like the dehydration. I was like so out of it and so messed up, maybe like 2 days even. And then so when I went in there and I got an IV and like anti-nausea stuff, I was totally fine afterwards. But it gets bad. It gets really bad. But at least he went to the hospital right away, so it probably wasn't like that bad for him. Like he probably got IVs and stuff immediately and was totally fine. He then posted on Instagram about it. He said thank you all. He posted a picture of himself in the hospital with like electrodes on his chest, and then he's got his phone on his shoulder that has a Knicks phone case, and he's doing a thumbs up.
Read it. You have to read it in Tracy Morgan voice.
Oh, Jesus. I think you might have to read it in Tracy Morgan voice.
No.
All right. Thank you all for your concern. I'm doing okay now, and doctors say it was food poisoning. Appreciate my MSG family for taking such good care of me. This is like the worst impression I've ever done in my life. And I need to shout out the crew that had the cleanup. Appreciate you. More importantly, the Knicks are now 1-0 when I throw up on the court. So I'll have to break it out again in the playoffs.
He is, I gotta say, he is, I think, my favorite comedian, my favorite living comedian. He makes me laugh harder than just about anybody. Like when he goes off, it is so fucking funny.
It is so fucking funny. And it's like, he's one of these people where it's just like, he could say almost anything and it would be funny. Like as his friend, I would be concerned if he were to give me bad news, for example. I'd be like, oh no, I'm gonna start laughing because he's gonna tell it in such a funny way, and then I'm gonna be laughing at like his relative dying or something like that.
Yeah, he's like just total natural. He's a total natural. He can improv anything. Like you could just bring up anything and he could turn it into a bit.
I mean, it's he projectile vomited on the court, and it is like every aspect of it is the funniest thing that I've ever heard in my entire life. Every single part of it is so fucking funny. Like, and like he like, you know, people were probably concerned, like, oh, he's sick. He fucking projectile vomited on the court. Yet, like, I was like in fucking tears over this picture last night. It it is so fucking funny. And like having
what's funny about it? Just the picture of the
puke. It's just like, yeah, everybody is sitting on the court and he had just started vomiting. So it was like somebody got a picture of him like right as he had begun. And so everyone around him kind of is just like looking over in horror before they like hid their like horrified, surprised faces. Some people are kind of half smiling, like, what the fuck is going on? And you can like see basketball players kind of like pausing what they're doing or like getting confused about if they should continue playing because they notice Tracy Morgan like aggressively vomiting, like intensely vomiting.
Okay, and he says it's food poisoning. I have no reason to disbelieve him.
Yeah, he seems fine.
Like, was it possible that he was like hammered? Was he drunk at the game and just?
No, I think he's sober after he had that. Like he had some kind of medical like incident. I don't think he even drinks anymore.
Well, no, he got into that terrible car accident. He almost died.
Yeah, right, exactly.
Somebody in the van that he was in did die, or the bus. Yeah, I mean, he was.
Yeah, that after that horrifying thing, I think he like stopped drinking or like anything at all.
You know, it was I think they got hit by an 18-wheeler because the dude. It was a truck driver from, I want to say, like Walmart, maybe.
Oh shit.
Some huge company, but the truck driver had been like driving for like 18 hours.
Oh, of course.
And so in the aftermath of that accident, Tracy Morgan, I think like he was in the hospital for like months and months. Like he had to like learn how to walk again or shit like that. And
yeah, totally.
I think he got paid an outrageous sum of money in a settlement. Like he's got, yeah, but I think he's got like a huge fortune from that accident.
I mean, we all know how I feel about rich people, but honestly, if there's any way to make a huge fortune that is like completely morally fine, it is getting hit by a Walmart truck and then Walmart giving you all that money.
I mean, right? Good God.
I mean, like, it's horrific. It's so horrific, and he absolutely deserves every penny of whatever he got. Like,
if anybody's going to be like oligarch level wealthy, I want it to be Tracy Morgan.
Exactly.
I'm an oligarch.
Oligarch, not a fascist.
I got a pet tiger.
I got 3 pet tigers. They terrify me. I don't care.
No, he does have. He's like really into fish. He has like insane fish aquariums
Of
in
all the
his
like
house.
exotic pets for a rich person to be into, fish seems like the most reasonable.
I want to say he might have like a shark at his house, like in a
Holy shit!
tank.
I need to look into this.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, like, but it could be like a smaller shark, but like he's got like crazy tanks, and like that's how he relaxes. Is he just like looks at his fish?
I love him so much. That is so incredible. Like that is like such an incredible fact that just makes me like love him even more than I already do, and I already love him a lot. While watching the Baldwins, one thing that I noted, and you can't see the video, but right now I'm holding up the notes that I took.
Copious notes.
Copious notes. I have very nice handwriting, by the way. Um, just that, like, it seems like every rich person, like, vast majority of them, have like 25 dogs that all shit in the house. Why? They're rich enough to get their dogs trained to not shit in the fucking house. Like, I've got a tiny dumb dog and he doesn't shit in the house. Why do rich people have so many dogs that all shit in the house always? Constantly. It's like just like a continuous thing with rich people. And
I
like
don't know. Who else? Wait, who else has a dog that shits in the house?
fucking the Kardashians have a million dogs that shit in the house. Fucking Lisa Vanderpump, fucking Kyle Richards, like every real housewife has a million dogs that shit all over the house. Like it's crazy. It's like get one or two dogs if you can't handle 17 dogs shitting in the house. Like have you seen Queen of Versailles, the documentary?
Yeah, I have years ago.
Animals shitting in the house everywhere. It's like they have 25 animals and they're all shitting all over the place.
It's because the dogs have food poisoning.
They ate sushi.
I really wish I could do a better Tracy Morgan. It would be.
I mean, it's better than
Fun.
mine. I don't know what the fuck I was doing.
I even tried to practice a little bit before we started because I knew
I mean,
we were going to be.
it's not the worst. It's verging on Mike Tyson, but it's not the worst. But like I do feel, and I've always felt like, okay, if I was really really rich, and I like could afford to have like somebody who could like take care of like a pet for me that I wouldn't otherwise be able to like give a good environment to or whatever, it would be a frog. I would get one, maybe two big, like funny looking frogs. Like, like those frogs that are like really round or like really fat and have like fucked up eyes and like look like hilarious. I would get one or two of those. I would get it like a big fucking tank. And like Tracy Morgan, I would like treat it like, I'm gonna like relax and take care of my frog. Like I'm gonna like clean out the little like plants and I'm gonna put little new decor in its tank. Like, and like that's so much better than fucking dogs shitting everywhere.
Yeah, I mean, because fish tanks can smell. I'm sure he's got like people who come in and do it for him.
Right, and that's why you have a fish tank room, right? The frog isn't in your bedroom. The frog's not going to be in the kitchen. The frog is in the frog room, which is like over somewhere else in your mansion. And then when you want to relax, you go visit the frog room and you hang out with the frog. And then you have someone who takes care of the frog, so it's happy. Or fish.
You're into frogs?
Oh yeah, I love frogs.
Why?
They're adorable. Like I just like I've got like okay, I have like a real issue with rodents. Like even bunnies. If bunnies are in the wild and they're hopping around and they're like kind of far away from me, like that's cute. But I never want to touch a bunny. I don't want to look at its face close up. I don't want to be that close to it. Like fuck squirrels. Possums are the devil. Like I hate rodents.
Did I ever tell you about sitting? I was sitting in this very room in this garage, and I had the door open, and it was like a summer night or something. So it was like beautiful, and just wanted to get fresh air. So I had the door open, and I was working, and all of a sudden, Twiggy, who's like lying in her bed, just like a missile, just bolts off of her
No.
off of her spot, and which she normally doesn't do. And I get up and I go like walk around and look behind the couch, and she has killed a possum.
No.
And the possum has shit all over the floor of the garage.
No.
Yes.
Like it like released its bowels when she killed it?
Yes. Yes. And I had to like take a shovel and like pick up this pot. I mean, it was disgusting.
Holy fucking shit. That is like my worst nightmare. Oh my god. I've got like actually like a lot of possum stories because I grew up in Venice Beach, which people may not know is kind of like the possum capital of Los Angeles. Like it like is insane. I've never seen a rat there. I've never seen a mouse. I have only ever seen possums and they're fucking everywhere. You go out at night, every fucking time you see a fucking possum. You see a possum with babies on its back. You see a fucking big ass possum, an old possum, a young possum. So many fucking possums. So I think that like growing up there might be part of what traumatized me against rodents. But like
Did you ever get like you didn't ever get like charged by a possum or bitten by a possum or anything
no,
like?
and in fact possums are like extremely not dangerous. They don't carry diseases. They're actually shockingly clean and they never are aggressive. It's not like a raccoon. They'll never charge at you. They will only ever play dead. They'll run away from you in fact. So like there's no reason for me to be actively afraid of a possum
Right.
like at all. They just are so disgusting. One time one got into the house when I was 15 or something like that. They had like there was like a stack of like Marshall amplifiers in the living room. I see this possum and literally I climbed on top of this like 6 foot tall stack of Marshall amplifiers and just screamed until my brothers came downstairs and like eventually we just had to possum had gotten in the back of a shoe rack that we had. We had like a wine rack that functioned as a shoe rack. The possum had gotten into the back of one of those little cubby holes and we had to take my brothers had to take the entire shoe rack outside with the possum inside of it. But that's not even the story I was going to tell. What I was going to say is that my house that I grew up in is from like 1800s or something. It's old as fuck. It used to be a boarding house. So like the second floor had these weird stairs that went only up to the second floor that we never used. So my parents, when they were like fixing up the house for a while, my dog is whining. Tygo. So they were fixing up the house. They got rid of these stairs, knocked down the stairs, and discovered what I can only describe as like a possum burial ground. Possum skeletons. Like fucking like 15 of them. Like it's like the possums were going under these stairs to die. And it's not like they couldn't get out either. There was like a big ass hole they could go in and out. It's like they like brought their dead to this area. Like there was so many possum skeletons. Like I thinking about it to this day scares the living shit out of me. Like, oh my god. I hate rodents so much. But lizards, frogs, love them.
I'm trying to think of what kind of exotic pet I would be into. I just like dogs. I like cats too, but my wife and daughter are allergic.
You could
I
have like
like,
a very expensive exotic dog.
I guess, but I'm trying to think of like outside of that, maybe a llama.
A llama. Like, okay,
Just
but like think practically of like caring for it. Like, didn't you care for like a farm animal?
not, I mean, not in the city, but if
Like,
I
if,
had a place out in the
right.
country, I could do it. I just
If you're
there's
like rich and had people to help too.
well, I've always wanted to like hike the Pacific Crest Trail, like which
What is
goes from Mexico to Canada.
that's not the one that is from that movie, right? With
What
Reese
movie?
Witherspoon.
No, that is, yeah,
That
that's
is that same
wild.
one.
That's yeah,
Yeah.
Cheryl Strait. But I've always had this fantasy because I hiked like part of the Appalachian Trail, which a lot of my listeners will be familiar with. But the Pacific Crest Trail is pack stock graded.
What does that mean?
That means you can take like a pack animal, like a llama, on the trail.
You can have like an alpaca with like a little like Peruvian backpack on.
That's right.
Oh my
And so
god,
like
that's so cute.
I was always like, that's what I want to do, so I don't have to carry all that shit on my back.
Yeah.
And you have like and you just get to hang out with like an alpaca.
They're so cute, but then they do spit, and that's kind of scary. They might
No,
spit on you.
if you ever want to freak yourself out, Google like a llama attack.
Oh
Just
shit. That
they
sounds
have
so scary.
they have like crazy razor sharp like buck teeth,
Oh.
and when they attack you, they go for your genitalia like naturally.
What the fuck? How do they
Yeah,
even get low enough? Like they've got
I don't
those
know.
long ass necks.
They'll
That
come
is
after you.
fucked up, dude.
Yeah.
Although farm animals are pretty cute. I kind of get it. Like having, you know what I would want? You know, like those cows that have like curly hair? They're like, they've got like curly fur. They look like they're like a puff. It's like a puffed up cow. It's like a Pomeranian cow. Like a Highland cow, maybe is what it's called.
Okay.
I would want one of those, I think. And a big frog. Like I like rodents hate them, but like if you get me near like my in-laws have in their backyard area like a little pond where like in the spring the frogs will have little frog babies and they recently turned from tadpoles to tiny frogs. You get me at a pond like that, I will like go from being somebody who hates nature to being like one of those like filthy barefoot kids like who's got like fucked up jeans that are like covered in stains and is like leaning and putting their like hands like elbow deep into a fucking frog pool and like holding these frogs and holding them up to people who are scared. Like I like love them.
Weird. I had no idea.
I'm a big fan. And like lizards, like if I see a lizard, I'll like kneel down, I'll like try to touch it, and people will be like, it's poisonous. I don't know. Like snakes don't scare me. Like I fucking love that shit.
So when we have built our podcast empire and we are living
In our like podcast commune.
Yeah, like our compound.
Yeah.
Mira will have an entire facility devoted to her amphibian and reptile friends.
That's right. And Brad will have several llamas who he will be very afraid of because they do attack and go straight for the genitalia, I've learned today. So Brad will have a nice time with that one.
You learn something new every week on the Brad and Mira for the Culture podcast.
Yeah.
Mira, it's good to talk with you. Thanks to everybody for listening, and we'll be back next week with more news from the world of celebrity and entertainment.
Bye, everybody.